Okay, we're going to start in the forward cabin here, and I want to start with the pillows. This boat is leased from a guy, and he and his wife put all these pillows on there. They're really nice. Don't mess them up. We want to keep them clean. This hatch here has handles like this. These handles have a locking mechanism, and it slides sort of in and out like this. The problem is it's extremely fragile, and so we never ever lock the hatches. The reason is that you'll see that the handle here is missing, and I leave that missing to remind people that the hatches can be broken, the hatch handles can be broken pretty easily. Okay, so to open the hatch, you have to undo it this way, and then push it up and dog it down there with those knobs there. So it's pretty straightforward. When you lower it, make sure that it's all the way down and the dogs go into the slot there, and there you go. Okay, so no big difficulty there, but that's just how that works. Okay, next thing that I want to show you is some of the other things that are on the boat. Under the cushion here, there's some things like oil and a funnel and things like that. You're generally not going to need to get in there. Okay. Okay, you'll see a fire extinguisher here. There's another fire extinguisher right down here, and you notice we had two up the bow. So that's our fire extinguishers there. In here is some flares, some more oil, and a spotlight, which is awkward to use just because it's the length of the cord. Generally, I prefer not to use a spotlight. Prefer to just rely on your night vision. It usually works a lot better. Okay, so flares, fire extinguishers. Up there, we're going to have the horn and so forth, and that'll be that. The thing I want to point out here on the table is these little catches here. Pretty straightforward, but if you don't know about these, and just sit down, and if you want to pull the table up and you yank it, then it'll break this stuff. Okay, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about, is having guests on board, and how to avoid getting things broken. Okay, so we'll come back to things like this in a little bit. Okay, so we just saw that what the hatches do. There's two more hatches. They operate the same way. They're smaller ones. There's one right here in the aft cabin, and then there's one right over here in the head. And they operate in the same way, except, let me just point out that to lock this, you turn this make sure that is always unlocked. Lift that up and then screw this handle here down. If I can get enough turns on it there. There you go, and that'll keep it open. So it's this little knob thing, elongated knob right here, that does the holding. So again, close it. Never do that. Okay, never lock the hatches. Okay. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is these port lights. We've got 4 of them here, and the way these are dogged down is with these cam latches, and the way they work is like this. Let me pull it down. We can open it up. When you close it, you're going to lift this, and you'll see how this works. You lift that up there, and then push that down there, and you've got this kind of cam action there that pushes it closed. Then do the other one. Okay, Okay, so what you don't want to do is tell somebody, go close the port lights, and they go like that, and they think it's closed because they haven't been trained, and there's no reason that they should know unless you actually tell them ahead of time. So close it. Never turn these, because that's how you adjust the tension on them, and they're adjusted properly right now. So just activate them like that, up and down, undone, and done. Okay, so that's the port lights there. All right, let's get back to the aft cabin. Back here, this is actually the owner's cabin. You're welcome to be in here, but there is one thing that belongs to the owner, and that is this cabinet here. Now, the cabinets on these boats operate by just grabbing them and pulling out, and they are pretty stiff. Okay, you get onto other boats and you yank like that and it'll break it, but these ones are pretty stiff. Anyway, in here is some of Larry's stuff and some miscellaneous junk. So just don't mess with the stuff that's in this particular locker. So back here in this aft cabin, and if you just sort of poke the camera back there a little bit, there to you see it's fairly spacious back there, and so it's a nice cabin. You'll also see back here a power switch, a battery control. We're going to talk about that in more detail later. Okay, so now underneath here is the engine. They mounted the engine stop control right here, which is a bit of a nuisance. It'd be better up on the panel there, but that's where it is. You can access the engine by lifting up on the steps there, and you can see inside and get to the engine. You can also access the engine from the top by lifting this up, and you'll see that we've got some tools in here, and you can lift this out and access the engine from up there. Now, I'm just showing you that so you know how to access the engine. Normally, you shouldn't need to mess with the engine at all.